think the camera can see that very good. I didn't know why the camera could see that in that dark, but the wind's strong enough to blow that plant right over. I know that thing's big and heavy. So we're probably maybe a half an hour or an hour or two from the eye passing over us. So, but it is going to pass right over Lakeland. And other than a little bit of rain and a lot of wind, it ripped the skin right off of that baby. And the chickens are hopefully okay. Just from the noise alone, you can tell that pretty strong wind. They say around 80 to 100 miles an hour coming in where it hit the coast, but I think by the time it gets to where we're at, it'll be slowed down a lot more. I don't think this is no 80 miles an hour here. I don't know if you can see the silhouette, the trees with the background, but the clouds going by behind the trees is really moving. Yeah, another skin for the greenhouse.
It's carrying inland into those higher winds where they still could reach to about 100 miles per hour, potentially even for a few areas inland. Where we're going to see those high winds cut across the state of Florida, and eventually those winds going to pick up even more so toward Lakeland as we go through the next 30 to 60 minutes, those higher winds are going to be arriving. This is likely to make its way all the way across the I-94 or 5 corridor as at least Category 1 hurricane as we go into tomorrow morning. So current winds, maybe they're howling outside, and if you continue to have power and you've got the TV signal or you're streaming our coverage live, we've got winds gusting across the area in some instances over 80 miles per hour. Now there's a brand new update. Looks like Tampa reporting an 82 mile per hour gust. Down towards St. Petersburg, 86 miles per hour, and closer to the eye. If things have gotten calm recently out there toward parts of outside of Sarasota, that is due to the fact that you're actually in the center of the eye, and maybe it's the pressure that's dropping that's resulting in your ears popping a little bit.
Oh, we made it through the night, and the roof is still on the house. A lot of debris down. I think the only damage we got is the fence is leaning a little bit. The arbor is leaning a little bit. And the ridge cap on the chicken coop blew off. And I think there's a section or two of ridge cap on the house that blew off. I got to get up there on the roof and see. So I got the generator running. The little battery thing runs some lights. But we got the refrigerator and the freezer plugged in to the generator, so we got keep our food fresh. And I got this little gas grill here and a couple tanks. Be able to cook breakfast. I got a pellet grill here. A little hibachi grill. You remember I showed you last night this greenhouse. I just stepped on a slug. So, greenhouse definitely got ripped up. But all these structures with metal and stuff is still intact, except for the ridge cap on the chicken coop. I just built this like 10 foot by 16 foot lean-to last week, and it held up. Now my rooster fell over. You can see big old pieces of that eucalyptus tree have come down into the neighbor's shed. Lots of rain, really heavy wind last night. Once it got to midnight or past midnight, it was the worst part of the storm. Probably got up to 100 miles an hour. Now there's the ridge cap for the chicken coop. I had like 8 or 10 bolts holding it down with a little gap on the edges so it could breathe, and it ripped that off. Overall, I don't see any solar panel damage. I got to get the ladder up there and do some inspection on the roof. I was sleeping in that room there, and I could hear terrible whirling noise. rumbles in the middle of the night. Said, oh, I hope it don't rip off my panels. But yeah, this thing's leaning like 25 degrees. I'll have to prop it back up. So I let the chickens out. I'm gonna have to prop that back up too. So God protected us. You can hear the generator still running. There it is, Friday morning, and we still ain't got power. Well, we got most of the stuff picked up. I got a lot of cleaning to do everywhere, but the line crew for the power is down at the end of the road working, so maybe we'll get power back sometime today. But in the meantime, we use the induction stove to cook breakfast. Had some eggs, waffles, sausage patties. You can see I had to jack this thing. It's all racked right now because of the way the wind blowing on it so hard, it's sunk down in the ground there. So I'm gonna have to dig that out and jam some blocks underneath. Try to get this a little straighter because it's racked. That side's higher than this side, even though it almost is plumb. So we took the old busted skin off of there. We got 3 eggs yesterday. I don't think any of them came from these guys because they're the babies that have grown up, teenagers. There's Lavender, Miss Lavender. My wife has already named the other ones, I don't remember. Of course, you all know Henny Penny. Gert, Big Red, Little Red. So I did put some fresh bedding down inside their coop, so they'll have some dry. It's just now drying out here. I'm gonna leave this like it is for probably a week, and then I'll put some hay down. We just went for a little ride, took a break, went for a little ride on the golf cart, and drove all around the neighborhood so we could see the damage. Yeah, that's from the ridge vent on the chicken coop. I gotta redo that somehow. So this is what I built last week. this 10 foot by 16 foot lean-to here, and I'm going to take that tin off and use it to cover that gap there. I got to figure out how to engineer that, but we had 110 mile an hour winds, and both the lean-tos, or all three of the lean-tos, there's one in front of my shed and these two bigger ones back here, and no damage at all. So you can see I got a screw in every valley on the end and the top, and then every other valley in all the purlins. So that stuff is screwed down really good, which is what you got to do in Florida. So that came out pretty good. Got more room for the mower now and the golf cart. And even the tree house is built like a tank. Withstood 110 mile an hour winds. Good grief. It's been up there for 10 years. I'm going to tear it down this summer, or this next winter. A lot of trees fell, but we got the least amount of damage compared to a lot of people around us. So we got a refrigerator and a freezer and the TV and the router and the modem plugged in, but we still don't have internet service from our provider. We do have cell phone service, but it's very spotty. It's almost easier to text than it is to call. So my wife is trying to salvage what's left in the greenhouse. Thanks for watching.